I was in Mumbai those days. We got a call that a couple, we didn't know if it was a couple, it was a young boy and a young woman, they were found murdered in 4 bungalows, Mahada, Andheri. On the woman we discovered nothing, her purse and some money. But on the boy we discovered his identity card. His name was Gulshan Ramchandra. Also on the boy we discovered an ATM card, which belonged to an Anil Ramchandra. We had to find out who Anil was. We assumed it was the father or someone. We called the number on the boy's license. One man answered. He said he was Anil, his brother, elder brother. I didn't know how I'd go and tell him that his younger brother was found dead, shot. I asked him where he was, Anil. I went to him and I told him what had happened. Anil's immediate reaction was not one of shock or complete devastation. He was more in a, oh, where exactly was the body found? What state was it? Very academic, if you know what I mean. His way of talking kind of gave me this sense of something else was also happening on the side. But I didn't want to get into that so soon. 2 days later, when I called Anil back, I knew much more about him. I had done what cops do. I had done my fair bit of research, investigation. Anil and his brother apparently had a legitimate furniture business. But on the side, they had these 4 flats they were giving out on rent, illegally. There were no affidavits made, no nothing. They were just giving it out on rent. When Anil came in, he was pensive, he was worried, he seemed like he was busy, he was caught up in everything, and I sat him down, I told him I needed his time. I told him about his illegitimate business. I told him about the ATM card on his brother. His ATM card on his brother. I didn't tell him I was also tapping his phone. Apparently, there was a big transaction that was made just 1 day before the brother was killed. Also, there was one constant number that Anil had been calling for the past week. Also, what I found out later was that the time of the transaction, there was the call made to that unknown number before the transaction and after the transaction. It wasn't evidence, it was just playing catch in the dark. I sat Anil down, I told him whatever he was up to. I asked him. I didn't ask him politely, I said, what the fuck is going on? He didn't know what to say. I told him. I said, have you killed your brother? Have you gotten him killed? Who killed it? Whose number is this? He confessed. He started telling me a story which was entertaining, to say the least. Enter-fucking-taining. Anil told me his story. They had no mother. Their father passed away 10 years ago, leaving behind a well-set business and 4 flats. The brothers were lazy, they didn't know what to do with it, so they started giving it out on rent without any legal notice or anything. Gulshan, the brother, he was always disinterested in the business. He wasn't ever focused on anything. He was too busy partying, having fun. These flats were mostly given to single women, single working women. Some of them being prostitutes, bar dancers. You know, the Gulshan fell in love with one of the bar dancers. Anil had a fair idea, but he hadn't caught him yet. One day Anil came home. He came home to see Gulshan and the bar dancer in bed. Anil flipped. He couldn't take it. He yelled. He was one of those people. He was honorable in his head in a fucked up kind of way. He said, this is not the right thing to do. Want to get with somebody? You get with somebody who's as big as us, as rich as us. Not a bar dancer. Gulshan wouldn't agree. Gulshan said he was in love with this woman. Anil didn't approve of his love. He decided he had to take action. And he took action. The plan was simple. Anil would hire a contract killer to bump off his brother and his girlfriend. The contract killer demanded a fair, big amount of money. Just before the day that they had planned for the murder, the contract killer wanted some more money. That was the big transaction Anil made. As luck would have it, after that transaction, the same night, his brother Gulshan stole his ATM card. One really unnerving thing about the whole narration of the story was that Anil was very comfortable while he told it. He was chilled out, he was very comfortable, he was okay with it. He was okay with getting rid of his own brother. There was no guilt, no nothing. I knew there was only one place for Anil. Fucking jail. A week of playing hide and seek with the killer, we found him too. Anil's serving time for 2 crimes. Fraud and double murder. His killer friend is up to be hanged for many such cases. All of Anil's flats have been seized by the police and his business shut down. Even if released 20, 30 years later, Anil will have to start over again. Funny thing, this life always reminds me of what my grandfather used to say, that the truth is way more fucked up than fiction.